First on Connecticut's news station, a budget battle in Enfield. We're going to tell you why parents and teachers say a proposal to fund the schools next year is not enough and how the mayor is responding this morning.
Bills that would provide paid sick days and more protections for home health care workers are both headed to the governor's desk. The legislative session is entering the home stretch in Hartford.
And Fox 61's Brooke Griffin standing by with what exactly happened at a New Haven Board of Alders meeting where a ceasefire resolution was on the table. What the board did and did not do.
All local, all morning. This is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Good morning. Happy Tuesday. Thanks for being with us here at Fox 61 and Fox 61 Plus, America Areas.
And I'm Tim Lammers. Good morning to you. We're starting with the forecast because I think we're getting a taste of summer today.
Bring it on. I think everybody's excited about that.
It's going to be a nice one out there. Already starting off very comfortable, stepping out the door. The sun is shining bright over our capital, and temperatures are pretty comfortable too right now. Over about 50 degrees, 54 degrees right now in Hartford with a mostly sunny sky, clear there, and the wind that is calm. It's 49 in Danbury, 57 degrees in Bridgeport, 51 in Willimantic, and we're around 52 degrees in Windsor Lock. So planning your day today, no shortage of sunshine. It's going to be a little bit of a taste of summer for us with temperatures in the 70s to right around that 80-degree mark later on. Now tonight we are tracking some changes into tomorrow. There will be that chance for some rain and cooler conditions for our Wednesday. You can see those percentages that are up through the morning and again into the evening. We'll have those details, time out those showers for you coming up in just a bit. Symphony?
Alrighty, thank you, Rachel. Let's get you up to speed with how the Tuesday morning commute is shaping up so far. We are incident free, so that's a bit of good news. Let's check out what's happening. First up, we are taking a live look at downtown Hartford this morning, checking out the traffic flow on 84. Traffic volume starting to pick up out there. We have been seeing this minor slowdown reported on Route 2 West out in the Glastonbury area. Traffic speeds averaging around 41 miles per hour. And down in New Haven, beautiful start to the day out there as we are checking out the Q Bridge, seeing our usual slowdown on 95 South heading to Bridgeport. You'll get there in about 31 minutes. We have your next update coming up at 6:30.
Thanks so much. Families in Enfield could see some big changes in schools come next year.
Yeah, teachers in the district are fighting back against some planned budget cuts. Keep in mind, layoff notices have already been sent out to more than 120 staff members there.
Fox 61's Angela Bavaro is joining us live right outside Enfield Town Hall with more on the next steps. Angelo.
Hey, good morning, guys. And the Enfield Town Council has a deadline of May 20th to vote on this budget. Obviously, a very big decision to be made here. And teachers argue that there will be big consequences. Any planned cuts, they say, will result in increased class sizes as well as less programs and support for students in these schools. Now, take a look. This was the scene last night as we saw the sea of pink take over Town Hall here, teachers rallying against these planned cuts. 121 teachers, more than a fifth of the total teacher population, according to the union, have been handed a pink slip while final decisions are being made. The superintendent is asking for an 8.6% increase in the budget to maintain current programs and staffing. That is about $6.5 million. However, some town council members are proposing an increase of no more than 2%. Town leaders say it's impossible to meet that 8% number without raising taxes. And adding to the difficulty, the mayor says the town is already down about another $4.5 million.
But if you take 4.5 million plus the 6.5 million they're asking for next year, that wipes out the town's fund balance, which is 25 million. We need 15 million to remain to keep our great bond rating.
Something that Enfield doesn't realize is the school programs, the college programs, they're not seeing the numbers of graduates and education like they used to. So that's where I say I don't know how we rebuild from this. You handed out 121 pink slips here, but what's to say that 40 more don't look in another district where their class sizes will be smaller?
And town leaders here in Enfield are seeking some more opinions and input from the Board of Education at a special meeting that will take place next week before the final decision and vote regarding this budget is made again. That is scheduled for May 20th. We are live in Enfield this morning. I'm Angelo Bavaro, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Angelo, thank you for that report. And it is a somewhat similar story in Hartford, where parents, students, and teachers are all expected to rally before tonight's final budget meeting for Hartford public schools. They're going to call for more funding so that jobs and services won't be cut. You might remember the district was planning on cutting hundreds of jobs to save money until the state said it would step in and chip in over $10 million to help cut that deficit. But the ralliers tonight will say that is still not enough money. So they're going to gather at 5 p.m. at Weaver High School. The meeting starts there an hour later at 6. Well, state lawmakers are working down to the wire because it's almost the end of the legislative session.
Yeah, tomorrow is their last day at the Capitol. Last night, lawmakers passed a measure to expand which employees are covered by paid sick days here in Connecticut. So now it's heading to the governor's desk. When it becomes law, all employers will be required to provide their staff with paid sick days, regardless of how many people are on the payroll. As of today, only companies that have more than 50 employees have to provide paid sick days. And lawmakers in the State House and Senate also passed a bill to improve the safety of home health care workers here in Connecticut. The measure was pushed forward this session after the death of home health care worker Joyce Grayson in Willimantic last October. The bill would require all home care agencies to provide employees with a patient history of violence toward health care workers, including as substance and domestic abuse, and to notify them if a patient is a registered sex offender. And this wasn't the only bill dealing with health care up for consideration. Stick with us for our next half hour. We're talking about rights for nursing home residents. Some lawmakers say that they should not be forced to sign arbitration agreements. Why officials say these contracts could limit their rights. And now to a Fox 61 follow-up for you on local efforts to support an end to the fighting in Gaza. After months of public testimony, officials in New Haven put a ceasefire resolution to a vote last night.
Yeah, now that vote, of course, doesn't have any impact on what actually happens overseas, but it's what the Board of Alders specifically did that has some people upset. Fox 61's Brooke Griffin is live outside City Hall now with the story. Brooke, good morning.
Yeah, good morning to you. These steps here at New Haven City Hall were packed with about 200 protesters and people coming to a rally here in this area. Now, they were all here fighting for that ceasefire resolution to be passed. It was taken up with the Board of Alders last night, but they ended up technically not making a decision. They decided to read and file it, which means they're not making a decision and they're just putting it away. That's the decision. So they didn't vote yes or no on it. But the resolution first came up back in November. Since then, many people have spoken in favor of passing it. Now, even though the resolution is just symbolic, supporters say they think that it can persuade officials at the federal level to do more to get an actual ceasefire in place. Now, they say that those 200 protesters rallied before the meeting last night, many of them even later attending the meeting itself. Every alder but one voted to read and file the resolution. The final alder voted no. Those who attended the meeting say they're disappointed that New Haven is choosing not to stand with them.
We're here tonight to tell the New Haven City Council that they need to take action. There's millions of civilians in Palestine at risk of starvation. Israel is bombing, as I speak, the last civilian refuge in Gaza.
And those protesters who were here made several other demands as well. One of them for Yale to disband its police department. Police arrested around 40 Yale students 2 weeks ago when they wouldn't leave a protest-driven encampment that was set up on university property. Protesters say they were appalled with the arrests, and now they are demanding change. Many of those protesters last night saying that their plan for the week is to show up at the New Haven courthouse to support all of those Yale students that were arrested 2 weeks ago. We'll, of course, be covering this and the continuing protests and rallies, everything that's happening here in New Haven as we move on through the next couple of weeks. Live in New Haven, Brooke Griffin, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Thank you. We will check back in with you a little later on this morning. Today, Tweed New Haven Airport will host a career fair for anybody looking for work. It's going to start at 10 a.m. and run until 2 p.m. Employers from Avello, Laz Parking, the American Job Center, and New Haven Workforce Alliance will all be there. It's open to the public, and there's free parking, too. Just go to Lot C there at the airport.